Michael Jackson's love for children, a story beyond music. Michael Jackson, the king of pop. When people hear his name, the first images that come to mind are moonwalks, glittering gloves, and stadiums full of screaming fans. But behind the stardom, behind the lights, behind the records and world tours, there was something far more personal, far more powerful, that defined Michael's soul. It was his deep and unconditional love for children. This is the story of how Michael Jackson's connection with children shaped his life, his art, and his legacy. Part 1. The Child Who Never Had a Childhood. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana. From the outside, it seemed like he had everything: talent, fame, and a fast track to global stardom. But inside, Michael always carried a quiet sadness, because he never had what every child deserves, a normal childhood. At just 5 years old, Michael was pushed into the spotlight as the lead singer of the Jackson 5. While other kids were playing in the backyard, riding bicycles, or going to birthday parties, Michael was rehearsing endlessly, performing in smoky clubs, traveling from city to city, and living under the strict discipline of his father, Joseph Jackson. Michael once confessed in an interview, "I remember going to the recording studio and there would be a swing set across the street. I would see all the kids playing and I would cry because it made me sad that I had to work instead." This deprivation left a deep mark on his heart. Michael wasn't just nostalgic about childhood, he was longing for it. And this longing became the seed of his love for children. Part 2. Seeing childhood through their eyes. As Michael grew older, his fame exploded. Thriller, Shattered Records, Billie Jean, and Beat It made him an international icon. But even when he stood at the top of the world, surrounded by millions of fans, Michael often felt lonely. The only time he said he felt truly happy was when he was surrounded by children. Why? Because through their laughter, their innocence, and their joy, Michael saw the childhood he never had. Children didn't care about his fame, his money, or his image. They saw him simply as Michael, someone who loved to play hide and seek, climb trees, and share stories. He once said, "Children show me, in their playful smiles, the divine in everyone." This simple goodness shines straight from their hearts and only asks to be loved. Part 3. Neverland, a dream for children. In the late 1980s, Michael created what became his most personal project, Neverland Ranch. Neverland was not just a mansion. It was a magical kingdom built out of Michael's imagination. The ranch had a zoo, an amusement park, a movie theater, a train, and sprawling gardens. To Michael, Neverland was more than his home, it was a place where children could live out the magical dreams that he never experienced. At Neverland, children with illnesses, disabilities, or those from underprivileged backgrounds were invited to laugh, play, and forget their worries. Michael hosted thousands of children there, completely free. For him, Neverland was not about luxury. It was about healing. He once explained, "I wanted to build a place where children could come and experience the joy I missed. A place where they could laugh and play and just be children." Part 4. The Humanitarian. Michael's love for children wasn't confined to Neverland. He was one of the most generous humanitarians of his time. Through the Heal the World Foundation, Michael donated millions to children's hospitals, orphanages, and educational programs around the globe. He secretly visited hospitals, often disguised, carrying gifts and toys. In 1992, he even traveled to war-torn Sarajevo during the Bosnian conflict, visiting orphan children and pledging support for their care. One nurse recalled, "Michael didn't just come as a superstar. He came as a father, as a brother, as a friend. The way he sat with the children, the way he held their hands, he gave them hope." Michael wrote songs like Heal the World, Earth Song, and Childhood as prayers for the innocence of children everywhere. Part 5. The Controversy and Pain. But Michael's closeness to children was often misunderstood. The media twisted his generosity into scandal, painting him as something he was not. He was accused, ridiculed, and endlessly targeted. The irony is that the very thing Michael cherished the most, the innocence of children, became the weapon the world used against him. But even in the face of ridicule and pain, Michael never stopped loving children. He continued to invite them into his life, continued to support charities, and continued to build a message of love. In his words, "If you enter this world knowing you are loved, and you leave this world knowing the same, then everything that happens in between can be dealt with." Part 6, The Legacy of Love. Michael Jackson passed away on June 25, 2009. But his love for children didn't die with him. Thousands of people, including children who once visited Neverland or received his help in hospitals, still share their stories of Michael's kindness. His songs continue to inspire compassion and healing across generations. Even today, fans honor Michael's legacy by supporting children's charities, planting trees, and carrying forward his message of love, peace, and innocence. Closing. Michael Jackson was not just the king of pop. He was the king of children's hearts. Through his actions, his music, and his endless generosity, he showed the world that the purest form of love is the one that asks for nothing in return, the love for children. And maybe, just maybe, Michael's deepest wish was not to be remembered as a superstar, but simply as someone who gave children the gift of joy. Sparkles. End of story. Sparkles.